What up, YouTube? Keeks Clips here, trying to give you some help with your fantasy lineups as we approach week 3. Week 2's in the books, done and dusted. Great week 2 of fixtures. I think a personal highlight was DeAndre Swift's 175 yards on Thursday Night Football. He is the running back I've been telling my friends he is. I probably waited about 3 years for that performance, but he showed out. The homecoming, Philly Flyer, back in his own. I don't know how it worked out so great. Gainwell unfortunately went out injured, so he got all the touches and he fully took advantage. But yeah, week 3, let's see what options we have for you. Enough about DeAndre Swift and how he's probably my favorite running back after Christian McCaffrey in the league. Maybe behind Kamara as well. And let's see who we can get in your lineups to get you them week 3 wins. I hope you listened to me last week. Puka Nacua, I was right. Big player. He actually performed better in week 2 than he did in week 1. And week 1, we was already like, huh? What is this rookie doing? But 20 flipping targets. Matt Stafford is feeding that kid. I don't know what it will look like when Cooper Kupp is back. But for right now, Puka Nacua. That kid is flying. And I hope you got Nico Collins as well. He was another one who I said potential breakout this year. And week 2, he was on some shit. I'm not gonna lie. Career high in yards, receiving yards, caught a touchdown. I think he had like 27 fantasy points or something. Like, if you had like a Garrett Wilson, you could have fully benched Garrett Wilson for Nico Collins last week, because he scored double the points. But yeah, anyway, let's see what options I have for you this week. All right, this week I think you should pick up quarterback Desmond Ridder, Atlanta Falcons. I mean, he's 99% available in NFL fantasy leagues and 87% available in sleeper leagues. I would say if you had like a Aaron Rodgers situation, then he could be your plug and play starter. If you would like a little bit of depth, just in case, you never know how the season goes, injuries happen, this guy would be a good backup option for your main QB. The reason why I'm saying that is the versatility he showed us over the weekend against the Packers with his legs. Like, I didn't know Ridder could run like that, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he had like 10 carries for, 39 yards, let's call it 40 yards. And a touchdown, just on the ground. That in most fantasy leagues, you get the 4 points for the 40 yards. You get the 6 for the touchdown. That's 10 points right there. You can do that on an individual drive. And I just think it's a bit of a cheat code. Like, I'm just thinking early Jalen Hurts, you know, Anthony Richardson right now. This is the upside you're looking for. QBs that are mobile in the pocket, can move with your legs. And the fact is, Atlanta Falcons have weapons. Yes, this might be a young team, but you can't really sleep. Like, you've got Drake London, you've got Kyle Pitts, you've got, of course, Bijan Robinson, who's been juking out the league his first 2 games, and then Tyler Algier as well. So if you put those 4 options with Desmond Ridder's ability to move around in the pocket, smelling like fantasy points to me. So, I don't know. I think Desmond Ridder is a good pickup. They got nice fixtures coming up. Who they got? They got Detroit, Jacksonville away, and then they got Houston and Washington at home. He's just shown, even against a stingy Packers defense, that took 2 interceptions from Justin Fields in week 1. I know they took an interception from him early in the game, but after that, he showed out. So, I don't know. I do know. Pick up Desmond Ridder. I think it's worth a stash. Another great ad for your fantasy team is Kyron Williams, running back, LA Rams. Now, of course, it seems like the obvious choice, and his ownership has skyrocketed, I'd say, in the last 1 or 2 weeks. But that's just because of what we're all seeing, the role that we have. He's the number 2 ranked running back in fantasy football right now. And he's doing damage. Like, Cam Akers, he's doing that much damage. Akers just got traded to the Vikings because of what Kyren Williams is doing. Entering the season as a supposed backup, Akers was supposed to be the workhorse. By week 2, by week 3, what's happening? So yeah, he's the clear RB1. 15 and 16 carries weeks 1 and 2, showing the size of his role. He's getting the touches. Like, it doesn't matter. In week 2, he had 10 targets. 10 targets in the air, like he's a receiver. And he turned that into what? He turned that into 6 receptions, 48 yards, and a score through the air. He had a score through the ground as well. Like, doesn't that just... That's giving me some Eckler vibes. I'm not going to lie. Scoring through the air, scoring through the ground. You know, he might be seen as like an undersized back. I mean, he is traditionally, but he's doing work and doing damage. And Matt Stafford's finding him. So while people are trying to figure out if it looks right, you grab him, put him in your team, put him in your lineup, and reap the rewards of those points, because Kyren Williams' season is on. It's active. Another suggestion I've got for your fantasy lineups this week, if he's available, I might be a couple of days late, but it's tough. A lot of people stash this guy over the summer, just for in case this scenario did arise, and it did arise. Unfortunately, Nick Chubb, week 2, season-ending injury, and he was killing it as well. He was gonna have so many touches, but of course, his backup, Jerome Ford, stepped up. What was it? He had 16 carries week 2 for 106 yards. He also had 4 targets, 3 receptions, 43 yards, and a touchdown in the air, doing it all. And this is what people expected. I mean, I wouldn't be worried about the recent signing of Kareem Hunt by free agency. They've only signed him on a 1-year deal. And the fact of the matter is, Ford just beat out Kareem Hunt in training camp to be RB2 in Cleveland anyway. So now he's RB1. Kareem will be RB2. If anything, Kareem Hunt might siphon some of his targets, because Kareem Hunt has notoriously been known as a good pass catching back. But in terms of efficiency with running, I'm going with the younger guy. I'm going with Jerome Ford. Like 24, 5'10". He's got a good size for this. Browns have a good O-line. Kareem Hunt, it's been a couple seasons since I've seen him running properly. Do you know what I mean? Although he's still a good player. I just think, yeah, it's going to be clear the touches will go towards Jerome Ford. He had 15 carries in the first game, even when Nick Chubb was there. So the fact is, he's getting around 20 touches now, and he's got a floor of about 15, even if he was the backup running back. So yeah, pick up Jerome Ford. He's going to be useful for you this year. Another guy I need you to pick up. People are going to start thinking I've got a Houston Texans fetish, but no, it's not like that. Tank Dell, wide receiver. I know he's a little bit on the side. Yes, he's a rookie. However, week 2, we've seen a bit of a breakout. Like, we already know, CJ Stroud during draft time said he wanted Tank Dell. He spoke to Texans coaches and said, we need to select him. I like the way he runs his routes. And you see how it's happened. He had 10 targets in his second game. In his second rookie game, as probably, I'd say like the third option on offense, he had 10 targets, which is showing us CJ Stroud is more confident throwing the football in this league than maybe we originally thought. I mean, he is the number 2 overall pick. I know it doesn't always work out like that, but CJ Stroud, quite an accurate quarterback, 350 plus yards. I think it's like 384, a couple touchdowns. For a rook, that's impressive. I don't care what defense you're playing in the NFL. It's the NFL. So, yeah, Tank Dell, 10 targets, 7 receptions, 72 yards, and a score. Fantastic. That's exactly what you're looking for. What was even better was seeing that his snap share increased to 79%. So he's going to be on the field a lot. I don't know. Tank and Nico look like the future there for me. I don't really back Robert Woods personally. I see him in the short intermediate game. Maybe a bit of a safety blanket for Stroud. But if someone's trying to go deep, it's Nico and it's Tank Dell. Let it fly, CJ Stroud. Let it fly. And I'm a believer. I just think that could be a sneaky pickup. He's 94% available in NFL fantasy leagues and 58% available in sleeper leagues. 20 fantasy points last week. 20. Who doesn't want 20 fantasy points from their wide receiver or their flex? Tank Dell, pick him up. My final suggestion for your fantasy teams is tight end Zach Ertz, Arizona Cardinals. Now look, I know, he's about 40. No, I think he's like 34 or something. But it doesn't matter. Veterans in this league, they're savvy. And I think Zach Ertz is savvy. He's had 18 targets in the first 2 games. 18 targets, 9 targets a game. That'd be like 17 game season. That's like 150 targets. If he can catch like 80, 90 of 150 targets, he's going to be a top 5 tight end. Like, I don't doubt that. But it's just the level of trust you have maybe with your team and your level of need. But who doesn't need a tight end that can be getting average 9 targets? I know 2 games is a small sample size, of course. But if he could continue that, and he's hitting above 70% off snap share, so he's going to be on the field. You clearly trust him in the passing game. Dobbs trusts him now. I'm pretty sure Kyler Murray used to trust him too. He's a big target. And yeah, what? Six receptions, 56 yards, and he had the possibility. Could he get 100 catches this year? I don't know. I'd like to think so. I'd like to look back at this video later on in the season and be like, yeah, I smelt it. I think Zach Ertz could get 100 catches this year. And who wouldn't want that in their fantasy team? I know Kyle Pitts probably ain't hitting no 100 catch year. And I love Kyle Pitts. I think his talent's outstanding and dynamic player. But you got to go with what's happening, not what you think. What's happening? And yeah, Zach Ertz is getting the targets. So why wouldn't you want that? So yeah, those are my suggestions for your week 3 lineups. Go see if you can get them up. I know them running backs are probably a little bit more difficult to pick up now. You might have to trade for. Take a look at your team, see what your team needs are. But I definitely know like Zach Ertz, Desmond Ridder, Tank Dell, they're available. Go and pick them up. Go and win your matchup. Good luck with week 3. I'll see you next week.